Okay. So with that, now we have now seen the three logical operators, or four. We have seen four. We've seen logical and, logical like, logical and, logical or, and logical not. Right? And I've spoken about how each one of them works. Now let's talk about how sorting. We have spoken about different concepts for data analysis, retrieving data sets, filtering, performing logical operations on data, comparing. We've looked at all of that. Now let's talk about sorting, how we could sort our data either in ascending order or descending order. And I believe that you must have seen sorting in Excel. So let's look at how we can do sorting in SQL. To sort in SQL, we use the order by clause. We use the order by clause to implement sorting. The order by clause. So the order by clause sort record returned by a query. It sorts results. The result set returned by a query. Now, how do we use it? So I'm just basically going to use the same example I used earlier. So here, or let me have another example so that we can have another perspective. So select from production. I'm going to use the production table, the product table, products. Select the product ID column, the name column, right? And let me do a little bit some filtering here, where name like lock washer. So any product that starts with the name that has a name starting with lock washer. Now, if I execute that query, you see what I got. So I got all the products with starting with lock washer, having the name lock washer, starting with that. Now, data is being shown. You see the particularly the data on the product ID column. It starts from ascending order, starting from the smallest number to the largest. That is not true. That is not true. It doesn't start from the smallest number because 465 is lesser than 469, and 466 is lesser than 469, 463. So we can see that it is scattered. It is not really sorted. Now let's sort it. So I want to sort this entire result using the product ID column. How do I do that? So I will say order by product ID, order by product ID. Okay. And then you see what I have now. 463, 464, 465, 466, and so on. But what if I want to sort it in from greatest to lowest, from the highest to the lowest? It turns out that I can do that. I would explicitly specify the keyword or the flag that is going to do that for me. So that is descending. DESC means descending. So if I execute, it's going to be sorted from the highest to the lowest. And if I want to do from lowest to the highest, just like I did earlier, I use the keyword ascending, because ascending is the default. If you don't specify it, it's going to be sorted in ascending order. But if you specify it, it's still fine. So if I do ascending, I'm going to get the same result I got earlier. Is this clear?
Yeah, that's clear.
All right. Good. So now let's move on and talk about the null value. Okay. You put a comment. The null value. Null. What does it mean? A null value indicates that the value is unknown. Unknown, right? So let me give you an example. Say, for example, you are giving you want to gather the data. You have a business that you're running. Your products
Can't hear you now.
I think his network is currently bad. I can see video reconnecting from Idris.
Did you hear the explanation I gave on null?
Yeah.
No.
That the value is unknown.
Yes. And the example I gave.
Yeah, we didn't hear the example.
Okay, let me just recap. I was saying that, say, for example, you have a business, you're selling some product, and now you want to probably create a database for your product, and you're gathering all the data, the names of your products, the prices, the descriptions, the what have you, everything. You're trying to gather all the data so that you can create a database for them. Now, at some point, some information are not already known. You don't know them yet. Maybe it could be a price of an item. Maybe you're still going to call the market to verify its current price. You cannot just declare that this is the price. You don't want to go as your Bible will say it, you don't want to jegbese. So you cannot say this is the price. That's at that point that is currently unknown, and you want to hurriedly put this data in the database, but there's some information that you don't know yet. So instead of leaving the cell for those values, for the, say for example, the price column, now you're writing the prices of the data of the product. Now there's a particular product that you don't know the price yet, so you can't just leave it blank. What do? You put null there. The presence of null in that cell indicates that the information, the data for that row is not, or for that product, the price is not known. Do you understand? Not that it is empty. It doesn't mean it's empty. It means it is not known yet.
I can't see your screen now.
You can't see my screen.
Yes.
But you got my explanation. I wasn't working on the screen. I was just explaining.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me reshare. I was actually sharing. I don't know why it didn't show. Okay. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
It's coming. Yeah.
All right. Let's now see example of how we use null in our query. So I'm going to use the product table again. Select from the production schema dot products. I get the names. Let me get the product ID, the name of the product, the weight of the product, the color of the product. So let me put that on separate lines. Okay. So now if I execute that, you see, if you look at the first row, I have the product ID 1, the name adjustable race. That is the name of the product. The weight is not known, is null. The color is null. You see that? There are other products that have the same value. So when their value, when a particular value is not known, it is represented with the null keyword, the null value. Now, how do you, when writing query, how do you deal with null? Right? How do you deal with null? Now, say we want to filter these results a little bit further to only include weights, because weights to only include weights below 10, you could say 10 kilogram or whatever. To only include weights below 10 and whose color is null or is not null, right? Or whose color is not null. So let's do that. So if I would say where weights less than 10 or color is, this is how we use null now. You don't do equal null. You don't do that. You do is null. So what this means is I want to get the product whose weight is less than 10 or whose color is null. Let me execute that. So you see what I have? So if you look at the results, if I scroll down, so that is the result I got. Because we are using or, it doesn't seem like this query it gives us what we want, but it did gives us what we want. But if we enforce it with and, it could be oh, so there's no product that satisfies such a condition. So right, so we got a product whose weight is either less than 10 or is null. If I want to do a different thing, I could say not equal to not is not null, rather is not null. So I could also do this if I don't want to see any color with the null value. So you see that you now see that the result has changed. So I have a different result now. Is this clear?
Yeah.
Mr. Kwam, is that clear?
Yes.
It's clear. It's very
Okay.
clear.
All right. Another thing I would like to talk about is column alias. Actually, let me put order by so that we can see, so that when I start giving you assignment, you see that everything we have been learning so far can be used. All of them can be used in one query. So let me put. You see, we learned how to use the where clause for filtering. We're using it here. The where clause. Except some of them that cannot be used with others. But in most cases, most of them can be combined, can be used with others. So where clause, we're using where clause here. We're using the comparison operator. We're using the logical or operator, and the null is also here. So I could also add the order by to sort the data. Order by product ID ascending. You see that? So everything can be used. All right, let's talk about column alias. Are we good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, column alias. This is another interesting one. Column alias. So column alias basically is an alternative name for a column. Okay, an alternative name for a column, or we could say an alternative name to replace a column. So why do we have column alias? Now I'll give you an example. I'll explain that by giving you an example. So we're still going to use the same products, the same product table. It's a very amazing table from production dot product product ID name. Okay, and no, basically that is it. Let me just or instead of writing over and over again, let me just copy one of this. Let me just copy this. Exactly, this works. This works just fine. So I'll just copy that. Okay, replace that. Now, let me execute that query again. So if you look at the results, if you look at the columns, let's focus on the column now. Product ID, name, weight, color. Now, product ID, if you look at product ID and the data it represents, product ID is a very descriptive name, right? Product ID. Imagine that what was there is ID. That is not a really descriptive name. But product ID is a very descriptive name. It describes the data it is representing. Then let's go to name. Is name really, really descriptive? It is a little bit, but it is like a general name. It doesn't provide a context. Name could be a name of anything. It could be a name of a person. It could be a name of a dog. It could be a name of, anything. So name is not really descriptive. That is why we have column alias. We could use column alias to replace name using a more descriptive name. So how do we do that? So here where we have name in our query, I will just add to that. I will say as products. Now, I forgot to say that product's name would be a more descriptive name. Product is more specific than name, right? I believe we all agree. Product name is more specific than just name. So I could say product name. So, but it turns out that you cannot, when you have a name like this, two words that are separated with a space, you have to put them in square brackets so that they would be seen as one. Now, if I run that query, you see that products name has now been replaced with what? Product name. We could also do the same for weights. If we want, we could say product weights and color as product color. So you see that? So the as keyword lets us replace a column name with another name. Is that clear?
Yeah, that's clear.
Okay,
But what if you
Mr.
want to
Kwam,
replace? What if you want to replace what we have on the road? For instance, now in product color, if you want to replace all black with, let's say, white.
all black with white. That is another idiom in the language. We use not select now. We use insert for that. In the part of the language that we call data manipulation language. If you remember from the slide I showed you yesterday, we add select, insert, update, and delete. So insert is used to, update rather. Update is used to update existing data in the rows. So for example, you want to replace black with white. It is update that does that. But those ones are not in the scope of the course. Except you want to, maybe enroll for that or something. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. All right, let's look at another concept. Mr. Kwam, are you with us?
Yes.
Is that clear?
Yeah.
All right, let's look at another concept where we can actually do some math. It is interesting that you can also do math in SQL. Okay. So now let's say we want to
Can't hear you again. Hello?
I also can't hear him again now. Okay, he's off.
Mm-hmm.
hello.
Hi.
Okay.
Welcome back.
So now I was talking about performing some basic mathematical operations in SQL. So I was saying, let's say we want to retrieve some products with their prices, and we want to show on each product, we want to give it a 15% discount. Okay.
Okay. Please
So
share
I
your
will use,
screen.
oh, my screen is not shared.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say I want to say select from production dot product. Okay, product ID, name, and list price. List price is a column for the price um of each product in the table. Okay, whoops. Okay, so I'll just do what I did earlier. So I will give it a column alias as now. I just want to show you that there are other ways you could do this. I want to use another style. I'm using the quotes here as product name, list price as list price as product price. Okay. Let me order that. Order by product ID. Descending. Okay. Let's kill that. So I have the product ID, product name, product price. I'll remove that square bracket. Product price. Now, so now I spoke about showing giving a discount on each price, which I'm going to call sales price. I say we are doing promo, right? So SQL allows us to do that. Turns out that I can do that by saying this price, which is a column for the price, multiplied by 0.85, and I can rename that, name it as sales price. Sales price. Oops. Now, if I execute that, you see what I have. So I now have on each product price, I have a sales price with a 15% discount. So now notice that this column here is not part of the original table. It was generated using this expression here. That is one of the powerful things that SQL can do. It's not part of the original table. And believe me, you can save this. You can save. Hello.
We are with you.
Hello.
We are with you. I only mute it because of the noise from my hand.
Okay. Can you still see my screen? Can you see my screen? Okay, but can you see
Not
my
anymore
screen?
right now.
It's coming up, I think, but still not showing.
Oh, can you see my screen? Okay, there's a problem. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay. So I was saying that this is the results of the query, this query that we ran, that we execute, and I was saying that this column here, the sales price column, the amazing thing that SQL gives us, one of the amazing things it gives us, is that this column here is not it's not in the original table, but we were able to generate it using this expression, this statement. We generated that column. And we could go further to save this as a report. We could do whatever we want, report to our superior, or do some more analysis, take this to Excel to do more analysis, or take it to Power BI or Tableau and do visualization and so on. We can do all of that on this data that wasn't in the original table. Okay. Is that clear?
Yes, it is.
So that is SQL. That is column rather performing some basic mathematical operations, things like discount on a product. Okay. So other things that we have that we still need to talk about. We are now approaching the intermediate part of SQL to advanced. We still have a few things to do or to talk about. Okay. So, but if I start now, we'll definitely not have enough time to okay, so that we continue from we continue on the intermediate and advanced topics in our next class. Meanwhile, I'll be posting your assignments right now on the group, so you can check them right now that I'm posting. If you happen to have any question, you can ask. We can discuss the assignment before we go.
Okay, we'll check it out.
We're posting them in a few minutes. So, okay, so both of them are on the group now. You can check both of them. Oh, did I post exercise 2? Wait. I think exercise 1.
Okay.
Have you checked them?
Yes, I've glanced through it.
Okay.
Figure it out.
Any question?
It's fine. We'll figure it out.
Mr. Kwam.
Hello?
Yeah. Okay. Did you also? you don't currently have SQL Server.
Yes,
Okay,
I don't have it, but
so just last word before we go. It is important that we find a way to practice.
yes, I'm trying to get a new system. I'm just looking for a system that has more configuration. I'm looking for probably a Pentium 2 or so.
Okay. So because the reason I'm saying this, practice is very,
Or
very
do you
important.
do you have a specification that you think can take it up? I will take up all the
A computer. Huh?
yes, a laptop that has a higher specification.
Well, I think anything from 4 GB minimum 4 GB. Even in fact, anything below 4 GB can work, but you want something that will not.
Because my system presently is it's not even taking it up. While I tried installing the tablet, maybe because I have other things on it, it's slower trying to process the tableau. But now to now have this one is telling me no space. So
I think if you work with a lot of data analytics tools and maybe you do some visual like graphic designing you like on your system, just get anything above 7th generation system. It will do the job. The RAM 4 gig is fine, and the
okay,
space depends on I think the
Be
price.
annoying. That will be at least that you can switch between two programs conveniently.
Yes.
yeah. No, because what I've been trying to do overnight yesterday was just to move some of my files from the system to my hard drive, my external drive. So I'm still not
Hello, can you
getting
hear
any
me?
space. Yeah, I can hear you.
So I was saying a computer with a minimum 4 GB RAM should work. Hard drive, internal storage of maybe 128, 256 should work. But you can get a computer with the hard drive with this new technology, SSD. HDD is
SSD.
the old, yes, HDD is the old one.
Okay.
SSD is more durable, more reliable, and faster.
Okay.
More effective. SSD. If you can look out for that. SSD, internal hard disk or hard drive. So
Okay.
128, anything 128, 256 gigabytes should work. 4 gig RAM
Okay.
should work. But if you can get, I'm just talking about the minimum now,
Yeah.
right? You can go for higher ones. Okay. So
Okay.
Windows 11, what else do you have? A processor, a good processor. Anything. If you
Maybe
find a computer with
i5 minimum.
Core i3 or Core i5, minimum Core i3 should work.
Okay.
Core i3 should work. It depends on your budget.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll just see what I can get here. I'm looking
All
for
right.
a Core i5 and
All right. So it is just, I'm going to stop the recording now. It is important